How's it going? I'm now going to show you how to prep your map. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is determine whether or not you're going to cut down your map. For example, the reasons I would cut down a map, which I have done before, is because it's quite bulky and you don't necessarily need all of that in your pocket. And not only that, it makes it easier when you're folding. So for example, on this map in particular, on the front, it's got Gosport and Portsmouth, and I don't intend on hiking through Gosport and Portsmouth, so theoretically I'll just cut that out from the map, because it'll make it less bulky when folding, and it's just pointless having it on there because I won't ever need it, unless something's gone dramatically wrong and I've nabbed my way across the water from the Isle of Wight to Portsmouth. However, on this particular map, on the back, it has got something that is of interest to me, such as the New Forest National Park. So I can't really cut that down. So this particular map for the Isle of Wight, Cowes, Newport, Rye, Sandown, Shanklin, Yarmouth, Ventnor, the Oscar Lima 29, I won't be cutting this map down because I actually need what's there. So next stage then, what I will do with a map, if I've determined whether I'm going to cut it or not, I will then go through and highlight all the northings and eastings. Yeah, all your northings, the ones that run from left to right. Yeah, there's your north to south lines, and your eastings, yeah, the ones that run from bottom to top. They run from west to east. So what we're going to do through now is highlight them with two highlighters, two contrasting different colours. And the reason you do that, it assists you in locating the grid when you're trying to make when you're trying to jot down and note grid references. But also at night time, maybe if it's a non-tactical situation, you can get a bit of light on that and it will help you identify the grids better. It's just something I was taught when I was in the army, to highlight your eastings and northings and eastings. I always have done with my maps ever since. So just an example as to why I highlight my northings and eastings is purely because I don't know if you can really see it on this camera, but looking at this, excuse my fingers, always point with a pencil, I know, but I've only got my fingers, my digits. So looking at grid 6.3, it's in amongst a lot of built up area there. There's a lot going on around it. If I hadn't highlighted it, it was actually quite hard to spot. Same across here, and most of these northings, you can see the numbers are actually quite hard to see, so highlighting them, especially at night time, it just aids and assists in being able to identify. That's the reason I do it. Okay, so I've finished going through now, highlighting my northings and eastings in different colours. As you can see, the pinks denoting my northings and the greens denoting my eastings. And you can see, I don't know if you can see on the camera, but in this particular area on the Isle of Wight map, Chillerton, Rookley, you can see it's quite a busy map. So highlighting those grids, those northings and easterns, just assist you in locating them a little bit more efficiently. Okay, so I've highlighted my northings and eastings. determined the fact that I'm not going to cut this map, although you can cut maps if you need to, and as long as it's definitely not going to fuck you up when you're out on the ground navigating, because you don't want to cut a section of the map out that you're going to later on need. You might regret cutting that. The other thing I have done on this map is I've cut the cover off. You can just pull them off the sides, because when it comes to folding your maps, that's probably the bulkiest bit, and when it comes to folding the map, it doesn't allow you to fold it very well. So I've got rid of that. I don't need that. I can go. So the important bit now is what I've got here. I'm going to fold that for the area that I need. Okay, so once you've had a UFC fight in the cage with one of these things, they're so big, and try it, once you've folded it to the area you want it to be folded kind of to that size. It's approximately 6 kilometre squares by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so it's 6 by 6 squares, and that's a pretty decent size to be working on in terms of your compass and whatnot. And for also, you'll find that fits in a map case like that, and it can fold again. If it, say this map was waterproofed, you could fold it one more, he says, with a bit of grit and determination. Yeah, and then that would fit into a map pocket in the side of your trousers, or in a front chest rig, or a front pocket or something. But that's a good size to fold your map to. The only thing I've noted with this, yeah, okay, I've folded it to the area that I'm going to be working is, I can't see any northings and eastings on here. So if you're taking grid references, I might have to adjust my fold lines. If you look, my fold line is just the wrong side of the northings there. So I would have to refold that in order for it to be, in order for me to be able to use grid references. But yeah, that's the basics of it. Okay, so one thing I haven't shown you how to do in terms of prepping your map, so let's just go in a bit of a summary here. When you're prepping your map, you determine exactly what part of the map is going to be essential to your hike, your walk, your whatever it is you're doing, and you can determine whether or not you want to cut that map down. And just remember, I need to stress, if you're going to cut your map down, just make sure you're not cutting out areas of the map which you might not think are going to help you in the future, and you think it's no point having it, but you never know. Unless you make a huge fuck up somehow and you end up somewhere you really don't want to be, but it's worth having the map on there, isn't it? So just be sure, whatever you're cutting down, it's not going to fuck you up in the future. I haven't cut this map down, so we've gone through it as the map comes. The next phase you're going to do is highlight your northings and eastings, which I've done. Yeah, and that's to assist you in being able to locate the grid references. The only thing we haven't gone through is waterproofing the map. So waterproofing the map, in the ideal world, I would Fablon it front and back. Fablon is like a carpet protector, almost like a sticky see-through roll that you would just lay the map out, roll on or stick on, and you flip it over and do the same in the back, cut off the excess, and you've got a waterproof map, which is usually pretty good. But to be honest with you, I'm just going to use a map case for the time being. I might well Fablon maps in the future, and when I do, I'll show you how it's done. But for the time being, I'm just going to use a map case. I'll get it right away. So here's a map case I've got. It's Andy's quality camping product. I've not used it before. I have used map cases before, but just not this product. So I'm hoping this serves me well. I'm sure it will. I don't like all the strings on it. However, it is important to have a string on your map, because if you're out in adverse conditions where it's blowing like hell, like really windy, and you're hiking along here, which is like the edge of a cliff or something, or up Snowdon or something, and the wind takes the map out your hands, you're buggered. So it is kind of handy having strings, even though I would probably adjust how these are on here, because it's too much string for my liking. But yeah. Okay, so other than that, my northers and easterns need to be adjusted, because I've folded them differently. I need to refold it. That is my map prepped. Okay, so that's my map prepped. I hope you've enjoyed that video. I will at some point be doing a video that's like a bit of an insight, an introduction to map reading. So stay tuned for that. If you want to see more videos like this, I can go in more depth. I'm keeping it real basic and simple at the moment, but if you do want more videos on map reading, how to use compass, how to map read in general, just let us know in the comments, and it is something I'm willing to do if people are interested in seeing it. But for the time being, thanks for watching, and I hope it's helped.